Yeah, I watch an absurd amount of podcasts, and I get a lot of ideas from podcasts. I mean, you can think about them, podcasts, as like a source of food for thought. And I was watching this Danny Jones podcast, and he was speaking with a theoretical physicist named David Chester. And David Chester went on to talk about like the rate of innovation. And I can't say that it was like this mind-blowing, groundbreaking thought, but what I will say is that I never really gave thought to like how disruptive the rate of innovation can be. Because when David Chester was talking about it, and he was like, what if you have this breakthrough and you go through the manufacturing process, you bring a product to market, and then the very next day after you release it, you have another breakthrough, an innovation that occurs. Well, how are you going to get that upgrade of whether it be software, intellectual property, hardware, but how are you going to get that out to people quick enough? You got to go through the manufacturing process again. Things have to be designed and engineered and then built and then distributed. So the rate of innovation is already stifled by your ability and capacity to manufacture. And I go through that and I say all that to say this. I'm sitting here wondering to myself, with the upgrades that Apple and DJI are preparing to announce, like, are these upgrades going to be leaps and bounds upgrades, or are they going to be these incremental, little fabricated upgrades? It's a good question, right? I feel like DJI has had a really good track record of improving their products and infusing innovation, not only on software basis, hardware basis, and design basis as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the Action 5 or that Action 5 Pro that's coming out, because I don't know if it's going to be just a Pro or they're going to have a 5 and a Pro. For me, I almost feel like it makes sense to just jump the 5 into a Pro. That way you can leave the 4 selling alongside it at a lower price, like what they have it now. But because of inflation and the state of our economy, I can also see DJI introducing a 5 and a 5 Pro that would sell alongside the DJI Action 4. It's a possibility as well. What kind of upgrades are going to be needed in order to justify making these purchases, making these upgrades, right? Like for the DJI, like I really don't know what else I would prefer to have. Like maybe some more slow-mo in higher definition, right? Like maybe 4K 120. I'm sure we'd have overheating problems if we did that. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the Action 4. Outside of that ridiculous little plastic bumper cover that they include in the creator combo, that thing's terrible. Don't use that thing. Get a proper cage, or don't. Whatever you feel like doing. But if you're looking for protection, that bumper case, get rid of it. Redesign it or get rid of it. That's what I would say. But like honestly, like I don't have very much bad things to say about the Action 4. I self-admittedly have not used it as much as I should have, or as much as I have wanted to. But I mean, for the times that I have used it, I've been really happy with it. Now, I wish that it would perform a little better in low light, but I understand that there's the Pocket 3, and that does have better low light performance, has better image separation. but it would be kind of cool to see some of those things come into an action cam. But then at that point, like, it's not even an action cam anymore, because action cam is defined by, you know, everything to the horizon being in focus. Unless you have something in the forefront that's pretty close, then it's not going to be in focus. So I guess that would be something that I would like to see. I would like to see DJI improve the focus in the foreground, up close. Give us something that focuses just a little bit more, a little clearer. That'd be nice. That would be nice. But outside that, like, I can't say that, you know, I see a need to upgrade to a 5 right now, or a 5 Pro. And I'm sure that when we see all the marketing material come out, we see all the influencers get their units early, that we're going to hear about how great the low light is and how much clearer it is. There's probably going to be more zoom function that comes into it, and there's probably going to be a lot more AI features and maybe some computational photography that gets incorporated here as well. But I mean, hey, only time's going to tell, right? So about the iPhone, like, what's going to make the iPhone 16 a compelling upgrade, or like a must-have, right? Well, for one, Apple's going to be releasing it around Tech-tober time, or a little bit before Tech-tober, and then November comes, and December, and, you know, it's the holiday time, and, you know, how else of a better way to spoil yourself than to upgrade to the newest and the latest and greatest with all the bells and whistles? But also, like, software-wise, I mean, we already know iOS 18 is going to bring a lot of creature comforts, right? Android's had some of them, but, you know, for the most part, these are all going to be new things for the iPhone. So that's going to be great, but that goes out to all the older ones also. So it leaves AI, computational photography, and, you know, these new lenses that they're going to pack inside the camera. Now, for telephoto, like, I don't know, like, the lenses we got with the iPhone 15, I feel like are pretty good. You got 13, 24, and I think like 70 something. So that works out really good. And the resolution on them are really, really nice. I cannot complain. But when it comes into like zooming into the moon and like trying to like creep into windows and stuff like that with your zoom, like, I don't see myself using something like that. I think that is gimmicky at best. So those telephoto lenses they're packing in there, I'm going to reserve my excitement for when I see how they perform in the real world. So as of right now, I am probably not going to be upgrading to the Action 4, but because of the way my account is set up with T-Mobile, I'm considering upgrading to the iPhone 16 Pro. Maybe a Pro Max, because, you know, I'm tired of people telling me, like, sir, why'd you get such a small phone? I don't need a big phone, but still, maybe I might get into 16 Pro Max. We'll see. Now, audio is going to be absolutely trash on this thing, but yeah, we're still gonna try and make it do what it do. And we're trying to make sure that we don't lose our drone while we're in the process of recording this. So please bear with me. So I find it funny how a lot of times when you see gear reviews and you see people on YouTube, you know, checking out new toys, new gear for vlogging, that they really don't vlog too much with it. It's more of like a demonstration for the equipment instead of actually using the equipment for what it's intended for, if that makes sense. Man, that hurt my soul. That hurt the soul. I was flying my drone, my battery was dying on my drone. My drone was getting ready to return to the home point. I had to cancel that. And at the same time, my little grip on my phone, this Kiskadee, it lost grip of my phone. My phone fell. So that is part of the reason why I really don't like vlogging with my iPhone because I always feel like I've got to be super protective of it. That is a big, big reason why I prefer the Action 4. And then when I was getting ready to catch my drone, this great Kiskadee just came in swooping, ready to attack my Air 2, my Air 2S. Oh, this Kiskadee is ruining my camera's life. Do not like when that happens. It's hurtful, hurt my soul. But here's the reason why we came back. There was a perfect reason why we were supposed to come back here, and that right there. Marley Bear and I were out here walking earlier, and for some odd reason, she has this affinity for pooping on the trail. So we're not gonna leave the Dukes out there. We're gonna come pick up the dew like we do. That way the hub continues to be prosperous. Let's get home because it's really, really hot.